my channel, and today I'm going to be talking all things American Bulldog. As you can see, I've got one XL American Bulldog called Tiny, who is my absolute baby, and I also have, as you've seen from the intro, I've also got a standard size American Bulldog called Hulky. So Tiny's with us today. Hulky decided that he didn't want to participate in the live video, but Tiny will be a great role model for what I'm about to talk through today. So as we've seen in the news, the XL American Bulldog has had a lot of bad press, and I wanted to come on here today to do a video on my channel. It's something that I'm really passionate about. I know typically my channel is about fashion, travel, and beauty, but I thought it was important to highlight that not all American XL bullies are the same. I'm currently getting a wash from Tiny. They're not all the same, and I think it's important to highlight that. Am I disappointed that there is a ban in the UK? Absolutely. I think there's definitely other ways to manage and control the situation. It's a real shame. But I also wanted to say that owning an American Bulldog is also not for the faint-hearted, and certainly should be managed by whatever government capacity that there is. So for me, I am well aware of the potential of, sorry, let me just pick up my other child here. Say hi. Say hi. This is Winston. That'll get Tiny excited now. Where was I? So yeah, I'm well aware that the American Bulldog has huge potential to cause harm, and they obviously have killed people. That is true, and we cannot run away from the facts that has happened. I'm a firm believer that if these dogs are in the right hands, their nature is lovely, they're managed, they're trained, and they're controlled in whatever capacity that needs to be, then I absolutely think these are lovely dogs. One thing to consider is that these dogs, although there's a lot of noise about, oh, these dogs were bred for fighting. Yes, they've been used for fighting, but they weren't actually bred for fighting. They were actually bred to be nanny dogs, to look after children on farms. That was their original breeding. And then they have been bred to fight and so on. These dogs, as I say, definitely have the potential to be dangerous, absolutely. They're big, they're strong, they're relentless, they're very muscly, they've got big mouths. So I understand if you're watching this video and you know this is not for you, maybe someone in your family or somebody that you know has been harmed by them, then this is maybe not the video, because I'm only going to talk about my American Bulldogs. I can't speak for anybody else's, but I will speak about mine to try and highlight that they're not all bad. So let me begin. So I'm going to put up on here an overlay of some photographs and videos of my two American Bulldogs. Obviously we have Winston, which I'm now going to block off, and I've still got Tiny wrapped around me here, as he wanted to represent in the video. So we have got, as I said, Hulk, who is a standard American Bulldog, and we actually rescued him from an organisation that used to be called Para. I've forgotten the name of the new, I can try and link it, but we rescued him from Para. He was actually abandoned. He was really badly mistreated. We believe that he was used for breeding, because he was actually found on the streets with another dog, female dog, and they both weren't spayed or neutered, and the female dog had literally had puppies. So we believe that they were used for breeding. So Hulky is obviously a blue coloured American Bulldog. He's absolutely gorgeous. His ears were already cropped when we got him, but when we did get him, the rescue agency, they neutered him, and they treated what he had, a big abscess on the side of his face, which was a saliva gland tumour. It was huge. It was out here. I'll try and find a photo. I don't know if I can, because a lot of my photos I lost, because we did get Hulky about 6 years ago. So he's currently about 7 years old, 7, nearly 8. So we've had him for quite a while. We'd already got 2 pugs. We've only got Winston left now. We'd already got 2 pugs, and we got them when we first moved to Dubai. And we saw Hulky on this rescue site, and my husband had always wanted an American Bulldog, and he just seemed perfect. So when we brought him home, he had to adjust to life with the pugs, but it was really, really smooth. I've never known a dog like Hulky. He's absolutely gorgeous. His temperament is everything that you would want in a dog. He doesn't bark, which is crazy. I think I can probably count on my hands how many times I've heard him bark in the 6 years. But when he does bark, it's loud. He doesn't bark at all. So he's really cute. Like, he makes like little squeaky sounds and things like that, but nothing. Not a noise from that boy. He doesn't love swimming, which is sad for his friend Tiny here, because Tiny loves swimming. He loves his food. He's like a little piggy, and he loves to eat. He's very well behaved though. I'm trying to think if he's ever been naughty. I mean, aside from the odd accident, a wee in the house, that's about all that he does. He loves his toys. However, I'll explain shortly why we've had to sort of manage toy time a little bit. But he really does, or did love obviously he loves his brother, and he loved his sister Peanut, who was the other pug, and they got on really, really well. Then throw back to about 2.5 years ago, and we also rescued Tiny, who you've seen in the video. And Tiny was on a breeding farm in Abu Dhabi. I won't go into too much detail about how we got him, but he was about 8 months when we'd got him, and he was a live wire. It was total opposites, in a sense that he was scared of everything, scared of the TV, scared of a plastic bag, scared of any noise. He was so frightened. When we first got him out of the car, when we rescued him, he was, all curled up in like a little ball, and he was scared of everything. But at the same time, he had so much energy once he got used to being in this house. You can tell that he definitely wanted to be the alpha male. And this is where I will say, without the correct training and without the correct discipline, I can understand why these dogs getting into the wrong hands can cause issues. Now, Tiny has got a lovely personality, but they've got animal instincts and they want to be the alpha male. There were a few disagreements between Tiny and Hulk. There was an adjustment period. They did have a few scraps. And I don't know if I mentioned, but Hulky, even to this day, is still quite a poorly dog because he has a blood disease, which we still have to manage and give antibiotics every so often. So Hulky's very chill. He likes to sleep in the sun. He likes to, not really do too much. But Tiny was a live wire, wanted to play, and there was definitely points where Hulky was like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to play anymore. But Tiny is the most lovable boy, both of them actually, totally lovable. We've got him to a place where he is well disciplined, he walks well on a lead. We can't really, and I'm going to be really honest, we can't really have toys out for them both to play with, because it will end up in a quite bad disagreement between the two of them. They can have their food next to each other, they're absolutely fine. But if you give them a treat, we do have to manage that a little bit. But in terms of Tiny being an XL bully and with humans, he is gorgeous. I have not seen any signs of aggression. I have not seen any signs of him being crazy towards humans. An example is when we first had him, we obviously took him to the vet, and the vet said, oh, let's put a muzzle on, a little bit scared. And he just couldn't believe how sweet Tiny was. Obviously, he's known Hulky for a long, long time, but Tiny obviously being new and quite big, bearing in mind that Tiny weighs more than me, so he obviously is very strong. It was quite funny to see the vet and his reaction to how sweet Tiny is. Tiny loves to swim. He's obsessed with the swimming pool. He loves to play, so every morning he'll force Hulky into a play fight and they'll run around the house. They have the zoomies. He's very sweet with Winston. Sometimes can get a bit heavy-handed with Winston, but I think Tiny forgets how big he actually is. But he is extremely, extremely lovable. There has been a time where Tiny has got free of his lead on a walk and he's ran over to some other dogs, and he is so sweet with other dogs. Very, very cute. I think people are very scared of him, but actually when they get to know him, they realise how lovely he is. Now, if it came to cats, I'm not gonna lie, if they got hold of a cat, I don't know what the damage would be. That is me being really honest, but I think that's the case for a lot of dogs. They would not be happy if a cat came into the garden. But that's the only time where I've seen them, you know, get really crazy. I mean, I never ever thought that I would fall in love with these dogs, and I'd got the impression that they were for chavs, you know, not very nice. I also had that same opinion, and having lived with them for 6 years, I am absolutely obsessed. I am obsessed with them both. They've got so much character, so much craziness. Honestly, like, I can only speak for these two because that's all that I know. We've had children around, we've had young kids around. I don't know if I have photos again. I don't know, because I'm filming this before I put the photos on, but I honestly can say that my guys are little gentlemen and they really wouldn't hurt a fly. So I just wanted to put that out there because I know there's a lot of people, a lot of bad press. The media seem to be putting out a lot of stories, even the stories on there from like 7 years ago that they're just regurgitating in order to sow the narrative of what the government want to do, which is really sad. I don't know if you guys have seen the case of Marshall and Millions, the American Bulldogs that got shot just for being protective of their owner. If you go onto Facebook, you can follow a site. There's a Facebook group for them. It's really sad, and I think, do I have the answer of how to manage these dogs? I don't. I almost imagine in an ideal world that, you know, these dogs would be assessed for aggression and then managed, maybe wear a muzzle outdoors, maybe living in correct housing, having, you know, been on a training course, you know, a discipline course with these dogs. I think that is important. Potentially having a license for these dogs, because there isn't people like me and my husband that care and that worry and that want these dogs to be good. There's people out there who want these dogs to be bad and want these dogs to be aggressive, and that's not okay. That's not okay at all. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the videos on screen. And yeah, if you want me to talk any more about the dogs, if you want to know anything about them, if you've got any questions, please drop a comment. If you give this video a huge like, because video isn't just about me and my dogs, it's about the American bully, you know, worldwide, and how they are viewed and perceived. But if you do have any questions, please ask in the comments. Don't be afraid. If there are people on here watching that are going to have a negative attitude, go away, because until you've met my dogs and spent time with my dogs, you cannot comment on my dogs. Okay? Right guys, I hope to see you in the next video. And yeah, have a great week.